Both Pakistan and India are celebrating 75 years of independence this week. In 1947, at the end of decades of British rule in India, the country was partitioned, creating two independent nations, Muslim-majority Pakistan and Hindu-majority India. In the years that followed, both have grown economically and in global influence. They've also become nuclear powers and adversaries. Here's our Pakistan correspondent Pumza Filani in Islamabad.
The flags are flying high. Pakistan is 75 years old. The country's influence and importance have grown, especially where counter-terrorism is concerned. It's an ambitious middle power, but right now is facing an economic crisis.
75 years on, Pakistan is barely staying afloat. Its economy is in shambles. Officials here are awaiting another loan from the International Monetary Fund, hoping to use that as their recovery plan. In the meantime, though, here in Islamabad, people say life has become hard.
We say to this government, please make the prices low so a normal human being can survive, can breathe. You know, they cannot breathe.
Another concern people have here is the country's unstable politics. Divisive and marred by assassination plots and coups, governments seldom finish their term. At the center of it all, a powerful military accused of running the show behind the scenes. So how did Pakistan get here? At the end of British rule, India was partitioned, creating two new countries, the republics of India and Pakistan. Millions were forced to migrate. On both sides, people were separated from their families. They fled on foot and on trains as Hindus and Muslims clashed. Around 2 million people died.
Yeah.
Niaz Erfan was a young boy when he escaped with his father.
And India.
At 91, he vividly remembers the bloodshed as communities turned on one another, but says it's time for peace.
I wish we become friends and live a peaceful life so that our next generation, they may develop their potentialities.
Relations between the two neighbors are so frosty that even travel is difficult. Visas are hard to come by for citizens on both sides, and there aren't even direct flights. One way the two nations have tried to smooth ties is through so-called cricket diplomacy. At times over the years, leaders and fans would be allowed to travel to the other country to watch matches. Rajini?
Here in India, another cricket-crazy nation, sport has been a connector with Pakistan. But it extends beyond that to culture, food, film, music and arts. But it's the contrast between these South Asian siblings which have also defined their relationship. Rivals, not just on the pitch. The two nations have even fought wars against each other. As Indians raise their flag to mark their 75th year, this country, once colonised, is now confident. Courted by the world as a counter to China, India has one of the fastest growing economies. The wheel at the centre of the flag represents constant progress. Abdul Ghaffar's been making these for almost as long as independent India's existed.
75 years ago, we were considered a small and insignificant country. Today, we're strong. We manufacture everything: tanks, missiles, and bombs.
Dozens of labourers, like Savitri, scramble to buy flags at wholesale prices so they can sell them to survive. For Savitri, the struggles remain.
There is no change for us. While the rich and powerful celebrate, our children are selling flags on the road.
And there are other challenges. Growing religious tension, high unemployment. But India is also a pioneer, leading the way in science and technology, with a rising middle class.
So of course we can beat China, and we are actually growing, and I feel that in 10 years we'll be a fully developed nation.
is predicted to become the nation with the world's largest population in a year. At 75, there's so much pride and potential. Rajini Vaidyanathan, BBC News, Delhi.